Breaking news once again, folks. Because of all the support on the last video on Hubba Bubba 5, Puppy471 has decided to make yet another one. Back to you, Puppy, at the studio. Well, you all heard that right, folks. We're going to be looking at some more Hubba Bubba 5 commercials. Can someone get me out of this Arctic climate sort of thing? It's cold here, there's glaciers. Ooh, is that a penguin? Woo! Okay, so you probably know the drill by now if you watched the first video. We're gonna look at some commercials, but for those who didn't watch it, here's some more background. Hubba Bubba is a brand of bubblegum made by Wrigley's Gum Company and has been in production with many different flavors and variations ever since 1979. Hubba Bubba 5 is a series of 3D animated French and Russian TV commercials made from what I presume to be the early 2000s to mid-2010s. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's watch some commercials.
Les bubblegum Hubba Bubba, c'est trop bon. Mix and match, 200 billes à mélanger, waouh. Et Bubble Band, 1,80 m de goût extraordinaire. C'est géant. Hubba Bubba, c'est trop de la bulle.
Wow, this is the first French commercial in this series we're seeing. So let's dissect it. It starts out with who I assume to be the kids in a different color palette playing leapfrog. When all of a sudden, two robbers come out of a bank with money in bags. The gang decides to pull out some nerds in gum form. It causes one of the robbers to slip and fall. They also pull out some bubble tape, making two of them trip. And finally, the police arrive to the scene and congratulate them for their work. Then comes the outro with a guy saying "C'est trop de la bulle," which to all you who are wondering means it's too much of a bubble. Let's move on to watching the next one of these beautiful masterpieces of home entertainment.
Hubba Bubba 5!
Новая банановая Hubba-Bubba!
Вау! Растут бананы высоко, достать бананы нелегко. Хоти, банан! Хоти, банан!
Hubba-Bubba банановый коктейль! Такая вкусная, такая прикольная!
Well, that was not really what I was expecting. Well, let's dissect it anyways. Shouldn't really say that. Also, while I'm at it, I can now export videos at 60 frames per second, which is going to be really smooth if you're watching this on a device that can handle 60 frames per second. Enough talk, let's dissect this. Okay, so it starts out with the girls from the other commercials participating in what I assume to be some school play or dance. They seem to be quite embarrassed by it, judging by this image. Then the two boy characters start howling for some apparent reason which I can't bring up. Then they pull out some Hubba Bubba in banana flavor. Then they eat said gum. They then blow a bubble, and then the entire place becomes tropical and banana themed. And the dog jumps on the piano and playing something better. Then the two boys start singing. And later, the girls join in. Then the dog is absolutely shredding that piano like, dang, boy! Shee! Then there comes the infamous outro. Okay, so, before we watch the next one, I know it's 4th of July as the day that I'm editing this right now. So I decided to make a little, American segment for this. So, here you go.
colors de Hubba Bubba. Du bubblegum au goût extraordinaire. Waouh! Tu colores la langue en bleu ou en vert. Nouveau colors de Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba, c'est trop de la bulle.
Wow, what a commercial that was. Now let's get to dissecting it. Or mainly dissecting the plot. It starts off with them playing, having fun at a park. But then a police officer says that the park is prohibited for playing. So the gang decides to pull out some gum and, you guessed it, eat it and disguise themselves as zombies. Wonder how that's gonna work. It makes the officer scared, making him scream and run away, while the gang gets back to playing and the outro plays. Alright, so because we're 6 minutes in, why not look at another commercial?
Эй! Хубба-Бубба!
Вау!
Нереально большие пузыри! Теперь новая Хубба-Бубба Киви-хит!
Okay, now let's dissect the plot of this commercial. The commercial starts with the gang chilling on a bench, watching the sky. And they see a guy in a hot air balloon teasing them. Because they do not like their haters, they decide to pull out some kiwi-flavored gum. They consume it, which I think they forgot to put the model for the gum in. Then they blow bubbles with it and start floating higher than him. And the commercial's done.
Хубба-Бубба!
Ну-ка, ноги подняли.
Новая Хубба-Бубба Манго-мания! Посмотрите на меня и обратите внимание! Открываю упаковку Хубба-Бубба Манго-мания! Еще больше татушек! Зажигаем на танцполе!
Точно!
Хубба-Бубба! Такая вкусная, такая прикольная!
I am sorry to admit this, folks, but this is the last commercial on this video. Let's dissect it now. The commercial starts out with the gang hanging out at what I assume to be one of the kids' houses. And maybe their parent is mopping up the floor. The kids are of course bored and pull out some peach-flavored Hubba Bubba bubble gum. And apparently get a tattoo from it. The floor somehow becomes a dance floor. And the dog has a tattoo. And the little tree in that house becomes a peach tree. Then the outro, and the commercial ends. Well, well, well. That was truly an exciting adventure. So exciting that it had to be 8 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed it. While you're at it, maybe consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. This is Puppy471, out.